Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got something that I want to share with you from the National Archives blog. And it is about Abraham Lincoln and America wanting the slaves once they were emancipated to go someplace else. And so this message is for those of you who believe this is your land, if you believe this is your home, and if you believe if you remain here. And this message also is for those who are not awakened and understand that biblical prophecy is playing out right now. If you believe you're going to be able to stay here and make a life for yourself, you are going to be sadly mistaken. Your replacements are coming. The lighter and whiter and more anti-black they are, the more welcome they are. So for those of you who don't understand what is happening right now as the Roman Empire, the Second Roman Empire is collapsing and reinventing itself, and they're getting ready for this new global order, America has to fall. And they have to get rid of black people. And so whenever the opportunity presents itself for black people to leave, black people should be trying to get up out of here because these people never wanted you here from the start. And you've always been a thorn in this nation's side. You've always been a thorn in the side of white people, which is why they always keep on creating all these institutions and laws and rules and invisible methods to keep you as a serf class or us as a serf class. We're here and we're allegedly citizens based on the Constitution, but we don't have any rights. They can kill us whenever they feel like it. They can mistreat us. They can put our kids in handcuffs. They do things to us and our children they never do to themselves. They allow our women to die during childbirth. They inject us with all types of stuff to make sure our children come out all different sorts of ways. They feed us bad food, things they know that we're not supposed to eat. Like, I don't know. They put us in communities and then they run through the communities as soon as we get them up and vibrant and, where we can prosper. Well, here they come with plans to destroy them. We are constantly infiltrated by raccoons and alleged friends and allies who want nothing more to destroy us. We have to worry about the government always coming in and doing stuff to us. Like, they don't want us here. I don't know how many ways somebody got to tell you they don't want you. And so I want to take it back to the beginning so you can understand they ain't never wanted us and they still don't want us. And the plan ain't changed. They don't want us. They want us to go someplace else, but they don't want to pay us for our labor and all the troubles they have caused us, which is why they are going to be receiving the wrath and the Creator is going to avenge us. So, until that time, as long as we're here, we have to wait patiently and cry out to the Most High. But understand that this ain't your home. They don't want you. They don't like you. I don't even care if they tolerate you and allow you to stay around them. They don't want you. The issue of slavery divided the country under Abraham Lincoln's presidency. The national argument was simple: either keep slavery or abolish it. But Abraham Lincoln, known as the Great Emancipator, may have also been known as the Great Colonizer when he supported a third direction to the slavery debate: move African Americans somewhere else. Now, again, this came from the National Archives, and there is a letter up here talking about that. It's in his handwriting. It's a letter from 1862. It says DC Emancipation Act, April 1862, showing money to be set aside for deportation. One of these forgotten stories that we forget to tell. Long before the Civil War in 1854, Lincoln addressed his own solution to slavery at a speech delivered in Peoria, Illinois. I should not know what to do as to the existing institution of slavery. My first impulse would be to free all the slaves and send them to Liberia, to their own native land. While Lincoln acknowledged this was logistically impossible because there were millions more of us than there were of them. By the time he assumed the presidency and the Civil War was underfoot, the nation was in such duress that he tried it anyway. So even during the Civil War, they was trying to get rid of us. They didn't want to let us go, and they didn't want us here. They didn't want us if they can't do what they couldn't do what they wanted to with us. And white people were not going to allow us to live in peace. So what's different today? Nothing. By early 1861, Lincoln ordered a secret trip to modern-day Panama to investigate the land of a Philadelphian named Ambrose Thompson. Thompson had volunteered his Cherokee land as a refuge for freed slaves. The slaves would work in the abundant coal mines on his property. Now, you gonna, I don't even know what to say. But see how the children of the corn think. So, from then to now, we should have a very clear understanding that they don't do anything for us without it benefiting them. Doesn't matter whether it was a coalition, a hip hop coalition with people of color created and funded by the dominant society, or if they give you a job and they pay you what you think is good money, but really they're benefiting more from your labor and they're going to make far more than they pay you. You're never going to win with these people. The coal would be sold to the Navy, and the profits would go to the free slaves to further build up their new land. Lincoln sought to test the idea on a small slave population in Delaware, but the idea met fierce opposition from abolitionists when it went public. So even the people who were abolitionists, the people who were supposed to be in support of free slaves, didn't want you when it come down to it. They don't want you to ever have more than them. Nothing has changed. They will help you as long as you're not going to come out and be better off than them being children of the corn. Lincoln sought to test the idea. So after he tested the idea, it says in April, he didn't test the idea, but the abolitionists opposed it. So in April 1862, Lincoln was still of the mind that emancipation and deportation was the key to a peaceful United States. So they admit they wasn't going to ever have peace and love and joy as long as African Americans were here. And they still are of the same mindset today, which is why they're always trying to keep you drunk, keep you high, keep you entertained, keep you misled, keep you looking elsewhere so that you will know that you won't know that you're subjugated, and so that they will have peace. Because as long as all these things are going on, are you chasing, trying to be like the white people? They have peace. You're pursuing something. Anytime your mind is unoccupied with those things that you were trying to figure out, or you remember you're in captivity and then you get mad, then you want to raise hell, and they don't like that. So they do everything they can to keep us peaceful because they don't want us to rebel or revolt. He supported a bill in Congress that provided money to be expended on the direction of the President of the United States to aid in the colonization So you wasn't going to be free. And settlement of such free persons, because if they're going to colonize it and they're funding it, that means they control it, of African descent now residing in said district, including those to be liberated by this act as may desire to immigrate to the Republic of Haiti or Liberia or such other country beyond the limits of the United States as the president may determine. So the president was going to determine where you could go, but you could only go where black people were. They was not going to resettle you where white people were. And the president had the power to determine where you could go. So again, even if you went somewhere, you're not free. If they give you reparations and you freely go wherever you want to go on the planet, then you're free to do so. You can even apply for citizenship or pay for citizenship and relinquish your American citizenship, and then they would have no more control over you. But as long as they were going to do this, you were going to be colonized, you were going to be settled, and then the president would be able to determine where you would go if you decided to not go where they wanted to resettle you. So you were still essentially a slave, basically, and nothing that they did would work for us. This is what they have done to us throughout the country. They have resettled us in these large cities, and then they divested from those cities and they put money in the suburbs. So you were resettled and they make sure you don't have nothing. If you think you're going to be able to stay here under the New World Order and be okay, you going to really be in for a rude awakening. So for black people who don't get what's coming and who can't see the writing on the wall, you better wake up. This would become the final portion of the D.C. Emancipation Act. In August of 1862, Lincoln invited 5 prominent black men to the White House, the first black delegation invited on such terms. The topic was simple, that white and blacks cannot coexist, and that separation is the most expedient means to peace. What is different in 2024? Nothing. Most black and white people live segregated because they cannot coexist, because white people are the police of the world and they ain't gonna let you live in peace. Their kids ain't gonna let your kids be at peace. Their grandmamas and granddaddies ain't gonna let your grandmamas and granddaddies be at peace, black people. There ain't no peace in them, the majority of them, not all white people. I know there are some good white people who are awakened and cleaving unto us, and they understand the word and they have circumcised hearts. Other than that, them other people, them the ones I'm talking about. The white and blacks cannot coexist, and that separation is the most expedient means to peace. They want to hurry up and get to peace. Peace means they ain't going to have peace as long as you are amongst them black people. Understand that. And so they are always going to be trying to get rid of you. That is what this next transition, this chaos, this global order that's coming before it comes online. They got to get rid of you. You cannot they got to separate you. They have to separate themselves. They're going to figure it out. But there are going to be some casualties, and you're not going to be able to be here in peace. You ain't going to be able to be among them, and that's something that most black people cannot understand. Wherever they are, whatever civilization that they create, wherever they colonize at, is not ever intended for you. You are only intended to benefit them from your labor. That's it. If they can't exploit you, they don't want to be around you. This intent is even echoed in the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, that the effort to colonize persons of African descent with their consent upon this continent or elsewhere will be continued. So we would have to consent, but they're going to make it so that you would be gladly consenting because you were going to be uncomfortable here, just like we are now. Near this same time, the results of Lincoln's investigation into the Cherokee lands proved the coal there was worthless, and there was the small matter that Costa Rica claimed ownership of part of Thompson's land. So there was some shittery afoot. Excuse the expression, but that's all you can expect from Children of the Corn. The next area considered was a small island off the coast of Haiti. About 450 blacks were sent to the island, but after only 1 year, nearly 25% had died due to poor nutrition and disease. So, you see how they treat us? The remainder were returned to the States. Do you see that? Like, they always experiment with us. And so when people call Black folks conspiracy theorists, I don't even understand why they say such things. We have all the reasons and all the rights to think the way that we do about these people in this country. So it makes no sense to me that Black people are so trusting of their open enemy, people who don't want them, people who know that they can't peaceably live with us because they hate us so much. By 1863, realizing Liberia, Haiti, and Cherokee lands were not reasonable for resettlement, Liberia was considered too great a distance to relocate a large number of freed slaves. Lincoln mentioned moving the whole colored race of slaves into Texas. God almighty Jesus. 4 days before his death, speaking to General Benjamin Butler, Lincoln still pressed on the deportation as the only peaceable solution to America's race problems. I can hardly believe that the South and North can live in peace unless we get rid of the Negroes. I believe that it would be better to export them all to some fertile country. They want to export us to a fertile country because they know that's what we did. That's why they wanted us, because we were excellent agriculturalists. We were builders. We were skilled. Wherever we go, we make things flourish. Of course, this would not happen. Throughout Reconstruction, Jim Crow laws, and eventually the Civil Rights Act, the country struggled for the next century to settle the problem of race. One it still struggles with today. Though today the U.S. is made stronger, not weaker by its diversity. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It is not. It's not. So, it says for more on Lincoln and the island country of Haiti, they had a discussion about this. But anyway, I will include a link to this blog piece in the description so that you can read it for yourself. Again, I implore you to do your own research, and you need to understand why these people don't like us, why they keep on coming up with scams and shenanigans to screw us over. They don't like us. They don't like you, Black people. They don't like you, African Americans. They don't like you, Negroes. And so once you see and get that in your spirit, hopefully it will cause you to detach. There's nothing changed. Now, this was back in the 1800s. It's 2024. These people still feel the same exact way about you. They still have not reconciled what they have done to you. They still have not paid us reparations. They still have not given us a formal apology. They still have not taken away the wealth from the whites and returned it back to the people that they took it from. They still have not made good on their 40 acres and a mule promise. They ain't done nothing but continue to hoodwink us and make us feel good about being in captivity. So, again, Babylon is going to fall. She's going to be utterly destroyed and be left desolate. If you are not crying out to the Most High and begging for mercy and a solution to get up out of here, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. But let me read this to you It is from Baruch. It's from the Apocrypha. This is Baruch 4. I'm going to start with 25 as I close. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto God, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so, being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation. Take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. That's Mystery Babylon. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, as she rejoiced at our ruin, and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. Now, every time we come out of a place, it's left desolate. Y'all keep that in mind. So while you want to stay here and cling on to it, you are helping Babylon stay alive. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. So if you want to stay here, you talking about this place is your home, it's going to be inhabited by devils. I don't even know why you want to be here. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from God. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of God. So understand, we're going to be gathered up and getting up out of here soon. They know it, which is why they're going to treat us extra terrible on the way out. So if you are still working, trying to buy stuff and be a part of this system and helping it out and believing in voting and going to their churches, praise dancing and jumping around, feeling good and not understanding that ain't nothing to feel good about. This is a time of sorrow. This is the time before the troubles begin and our tribulations begin. This is the time before the blood in the streets and before bodies are piled up everywhere for days and days and not buried. This is when the fire is coming from the sky. This is when the earth is going to quake and the volcanoes are getting ready to erupt and famine is going to come on the land and pestilence and plagues. And you want to stay here with all of this stuff going on. You think you getting ready to start you a business. You're not about to start no business, baby. You about to be out of here one way or other, by hook or by crook. You can leave with the Father or you're going to leave in a box, but you're going to leave here. And I don't know why Black people are not understanding this. I don't know why more Black people are not sensing this, but it's not going to be a good place for us being here or being in any Gentile nation. They don't want you. They don't like you. They cannot have peace with you. That is something internal in them, and it is perpetual. They've been chasing us for centuries, and they're not going to stop. So get it in your spirits that you're not welcome here. This is not your home. The people that you live amongst don't like you. The people that are representing you, even if they look like you, they're representing the dominant society. White people, whites. They don't like you. They cannot do anything for you. They've made it clear in their benign neglect policies, they're not going to do anything for us. And so as long as you keep that hope, you bring white people peace. The moment we wake up and realize that we are in captivity, that our people do not have a place in this society, that they don't like us, they don't want us, they don't want nothing to do with us, that we need to come together so that we can get out of here. We can cry out together and get out of here. Our lives would be so much better. We could bring this circus to an end. But as long as we're scattered, as long as we're distracted, as long as we're trying to vote our way out of something, as long as we are trying to escape watching sports, watching entertainment, watching Cat Williams and Monique and Club Shay Shay and this one say this, and we are part of the manosphere and the red pill. As long as we are part of all these devices they have created to keep us distracted, guess what? They got peace, because you don't know you're in captivity, because you don't realize that no solutions that they offer you are going to work, because that's just how the system is designed. You are going to have to wake up, and you're going to have to wake up soon, because if you do not, you're going to be caught off guard and unaware, and you're going to be sent someplace as an experiment and possibly die off, because they don't care nothing about your life. Your life does not matter. The only thing that matters to them is their peace, and whatever they can exploit you for, however they can use you or keep you at the bottom, and hopeful that things are going to get better. Things are not going to get better as long as you're with them. So you might as well learn how to love yourself, love your own people, come together, and understand that just because people look like us, it doesn't mean that they are of us. We got to learn how to test our own spirits, work together, and get up out of here. It's only going to get worse. And as this nation comes to an end, I keep going back to the beginning of this nation's history. And when we were freed, they never wanted us. They never wanted us if they couldn't control us. And they've found ways throughout all the time we've been here to keep us under their control. Well, with all the things that are going on now, you're seeing that we're waking up and they don't have any control over us. And when that happens, it's never a good time for us. And so we must prepare for what is coming. These people do not change. And unfortunately, we have been docile for a long time. I'm praying that Yah teaches us to war with our hands, teaches us how to use swords. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about no swords. I'm talking about other stuff. But we got to get some courage, because it's the only way we're going to survive. If you think you just going to be here and nobody going to touch you, you sadly mistaken. If you think these folks not going to harm your children and your wives and your girlfriends and your mamas and your grandmamas, you're sadly mistaken. The end of this empire is here, and it's crumbling right before your eyes. And unfortunately, the people who are at risk the most, at risk the most, I'm sorry, they don't understand that they are at risk. And so please share this out, wake your people up, and let them know these folks ain't playing with us. They're not playing with us. So they didn't want us then. They don't want us now. Nothing has changed. Wake up, Black people. They want you to go someplace else, and that means even if you got to go in a grave, even if you got to go in a box or a bag, even if you got to be swinging from a tree, even if you got to die from some solution or a bioweapon or some bad food, or because you're in a 15-minute city because you chose to stay instead of leaving when you had the opportunity to leave, or because you ain't prayed up and crying out to the Most High, so you didn't get delivered. You staying here and catching hell. Wake up, Black people. Time is running out. That's all I got. Please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified every time I upload new content. And if you are subscribed currently, please make sure that you still remain subscribed by resubscribing, making sure that you hit that bell notification and hit all. Follow me on Rumble and Odyssey, Instagram, and on Facebook. The links are in the description. I don't post there regularly unless I post content that I cannot post on YouTube, but I found a way to be able to talk about certain subjects without getting flagged too much. Hopefully the algorithms don't change, but if they do and I'm shut down, I will be on Rumble. If the internet goes down, I'm out of here. Won't be seeing me no more because time will be up. Lastly, if you would like to support the channel, links for my coffee and Venmo are in the description. This is a labor of love. My channel is not monetized and I don't sell anything because I don't have no time for that. If you'd like to support the work that I do, please consider doing so, and the links are in the description. Keep praying, keep prepping, keep seeking the Most High, obey those laws, statutes, and commandments. Repent for your sins daily, sins of commission and sins of omission. And love your enemy, but you better not trust your enemy because they are plotting and planning against you like they always have done. And nothing is different. Nothing has changed. So keep watch, be aware, and understand the empire is falling as we speak. And as we get closer and closer to the Civil War, we're going to see the same thing that happened back in the 1800s. There's nothing new under the sun. People are always fighting about us, and they're going to fight about us again. No matter what they say, everything that they are fighting about is about us. So, with that said, I'm out.